What's going on, YouTube? Derek here, bringing you random review number 3. What I got for you guys today is another film that was released by Criterion. First time watch for me. I'd like to share my experiences with this film as a first time watch. It's a German film from 1931, M. It's directed by Fritz Lang, who was a popular German director at that time. He's probably remembered most for like this film and Metropolis, a few other films that I haven't seen yet. I know he directed a Western with Henry Fonda, The Return of Frank James, which I enjoyed. Stars Peter Lorre. It's like one of his first films also. I think it's actually is his first starring role in a film. Let's get into the plot of this one, guys. Alright. The film begins with a brutal killing of a girl. Eliza, I think, Beckman. And what happens is follows the investigation. The killer is Peter Lorre. That's no given. He is seen early in the film. And the investigation goes forward. He sends a letter to the newspaper about his doing of this crime. Police have no leads. Then what happens is a group of criminal underworld, like lower bottom underworld, like thieves, bank robbers, they create like a vigilante like group trying to find out the killer themselves. I'll leave the plot there. My thoughts on this one? Excellent stuff. This is actually Fritz Lang's first sound film. He uses sound to his benefit in this film. Like when you introduce to Hans, that's Peter Lorre's character's name. He's whistling a pretty well-known tune in the Hall of the Mountain King. You probably recognize that piece of music from like the beginning of Dead Snow, when the girls run in the dark at the beginning. Great cinematography in this film too, guys. Like all the camera angles, like when you see like like they show like the whole streets of Germany. Beautiful stuff, especially for that time period, like in Germany in the 30s, for that matter. Yeah, Fritz Lang uses sound to his benefit. I think he's actually one of the better known directors from the silent era that benefited from sound. Because a few of his silent films, like Metropolis, is known as a cult classic, but then back then it bombed. So sound really did, I think, improve his directing over the years. Like I said, he directed like films with Henry Fonda later on. And this one, Peter Lorre's acting in this film, it's really subtle. Like his character doesn't really have any dialogue at all until like the climax of the film, and then he just gives like a subtle performance. Like I say, like you just follow his character, like stalking girls and these little girls. It's very thrilling. They actually, another thing, like the beginning scene, like when Eliza is actually, it doesn't show anything, but it's all to your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like an imagery. Like you'll see, like she had like a ball with her, like a bouncing ball. It shows it roll through the grass, and you don't see anything, but your mind's thinking like, "Oh my God, she's getting murdered right now." Yeah, Peter Lorre, he had like a great career that came after this. Like he did The Man Who Knew Too Much with Hitchcock. He did films, a bunch of films with like Vincent Price in the Roger Corman era. I personally know him, like the first thing I ever seen him in was like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with Kirk Douglas and James Mason. He's one of the actors in that film. He does a brilliant job. Like his role is like wicked sinister, and at the end, you like I said, he doesn't really have any dialogue till the very end. He steals the whole show. His performance, like, these people are judging him, but they don't even know what he's about. That's why another thing, like, the killer. This is the first, like, one of the first films that shows like a serial killer as a human. You can see like the influence in this one too, like with the investigation parts, the newsroom. I see like kind of reminding me, because I never seen this before, of like the film Zodiac in a way, like how it had like the police stations and the police trying to figure stuff out, the newsroom, people reading the news articles, like the Zodiac killer actually did send mail to the news too, and it's like the same thing, but the way they did it in this film, I think, is the same like they did in Zodiac. Like Fichtner kind of mirrored those scenes, in my opinion. Yeah, if I had to rate this one, I'll give it like a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's an excellent film, very influential. I do recommend you grab the Criterion release. It has some awesome like features. Like there's actually a interview with Fritz Lang on this that was filmed back in 1975, and the interviewee is also a well-known director, William Friedkin, who directed like The Exorcist and The French Connection, To Live and Die in L.A. He interviews Fritz Lang about this film and its influence. I can see where Friedkin got a lot of his camera angles and shots, like especially for The French Connection, like the high shots of like you see the city streets. Yeah, and definitely influential film. I do recommend it. Def grab it. 9.5 out of 10. Highly recommend. Alright guys, that's all I got for you on M. I'll be doing a few other reviews in a few days. Hope you enjoyed this one. Be back with you on Tuesday as usual. Peace out. Enjoy your day.